Hey guys, calling from Extremely Average Games here. Sorry for the really crappy camera view. I don't know where to go here. Right here. I am currently trying to figure out what happened to my SD card for my camera, so I am just going to show you the basics on how to play Exultia trading card game. Now, there's a lot that goes into deck building games. This is a deck building game, so hopefully you guys can pick up a little bit of what I'm spitting out. And yeah, so Exultia, we're not going to go into lore or anything. We're going to go into how to lay out the field and turn bases. Now, I'm not going to make any edits to this video because for the sheer fact that I don't have the equipment right now. But so the game is played with a deck of cards. I believe it's 40 to 60 cards. I'm looking for some cards that I don't want in here. So it's that one. That one. Sorry, I did not look at the cards before I did this. Do not want any of the cellular duplications. This deck was purely built without those. So, how you lay it out, your deck goes here, and then your discard pile will go off to the side or up top, doesn't really matter. For the sake of this, I will put discard down here, and yeah. So, you start off the game, over here, with 5 oracles, or you can play it from anywhere to from 3 to 5 oracles, depending on the game type you're going for. Traditional tournament style will only be 3 because of time. This can be a longer type of trading card game, but it doesn't have to be. It all depends on how you play your cards. But you start off with 5 oracles. Give them a good shuffle. Place them all face down. Let's see if those are all in the shot here. Gonna move the camera over slightly. Actually, I'll move it this way. So I'll get all that in the shot. We'll put the deck off to the side here. Alright, so your oracles are your life source. A direct attack to you will reveal an oracle, and that oracle is destroyed. Unless specified otherwise on a card, they're permanently destroyed. So, you'll want to set up your cards, figure out who goes first, and you'll draw your first 5 cards. Give them a good shuffle before you do this. This is just for video's sake. I'm not going to shuffle. But, so above these 5, you'll have 5 slots for support cards to support 5 creatures above that. So, gotta move this back. And so our oracles are right here. They're a little out of whack, but that's fine. So you'll have your hand. Now you'll notice on the cards that there are no costs, because every card is free. You'll have to play your hand smartly, because you can run out of cards in hand, and that gives your opponent the advantage. So you kind of want to try and keep cards in your hands at all times. So I don't necessarily recommend just throwing all your free cards down. So let's get the game started. If you go first, you don't draw a card. And if you go second, you do draw a card. So first player gets the advantage of going first but not drawing a card, as in traditional trading card games. So as you can see in my hand, I do not have a creature. I have nothing but support cards and 1 spell. I'm going to draw cards until I find a creature, just for the sake of the video. Let's just grab these 3. Toss those into my hand, and we'll just discard 3 of these. Okay. Let's just go with 2 because I lost one. So, you'll have your 5 cards, and since you go first, you have an open field, and you can play as many creatures as you'd like. You can play 1 support, and you can play whatever spells. So let's do that. So you'll place your card wherever you'd like on the field. Has Summoning Sickness. So I'm going to place 2 cards on the table. One requires me a D10 to roll for attack and defense, and this one requires a 6 for me to attack and defend with. I have 2 support cards and a spell in my hand. I'm not going to use the spell yet, obviously, because firstly, I don't have an opponent, and secondly, it's too early in the game. But it's good to have some blockers. So you throw the blockers out, you throw your creatures out, and you may place a support card if you wish. So I'm going to play Timeless Night. It will go underneath in the support card. Now you can't place this in any of the open ones. They have to be supporting a creature in order to play. You can't switch them out for anything. They need to be destroyed in order for you to get rid of them. But at the start of your turn, you may move a support card anywhere else in place of placing a support card. So, for the sake of the video, I'm just going to leave it there. So then that would pass your turn. Your opponent would do the exact same thing, get some creatures out on the field to block. So, parts of a turn. I've already kind of sort of basically explained parts of a turn, but I will do it again. Anyways, so at the start of your turn, you draw a card and resolve anything that's on the field, whether it says to, draw a card at the start of your turn if this card is in play, or anything like that. I don't actually have a card that does that, but, so, that'll be your first maintenance phase. And then next will be your play phase, is where you play your cards. Thirdly, would be your attack phase, if you're capable of attacking. So what I would do is I would roll these 2 cards dice in order to attack if I'm declaring an attack. And if the opponent doesn't have a card to defend with, then it would go straight through to their oracle, and then you would reveal that oracle, resolve the ability. I don't have an opponent right now, so it's kind of hard to show you, but that is how that would work. Now, after the attack, your creatures come back, they don't tap, now they're going to be blocking on your next turn. So at the end of your attack phase, you have another maintenance phase for you to play a card. If you haven't already played a creature, you can still play creatures if you'd like, and resolve any effects. So at the end of your turn, you would pass to your opponent. Your opponent would do the exact same thing, but on their attack phase, you can block if you have blockers. If you don't, go straight through to your oracle, and then that destroys an oracle. So if I were to block, let's say if they only had 1 creature, I'm going to block with this Thrazod Berserker. See how it has a 10 there? So now that 10, unless specified otherwise on the card, you'll have a D10 to defend with. So they could have a creature that is maybe a D4, a D6, a D8, a D12, or sorry, a D10, a D12, and a D20. There are buffs in the game. They don't, like say if you were to roll a 10, and it says a +2, you don't roll a 12, you roll a 10 and add 2. But for video's sake, we'll get to very fine details in another video. But this one, so if I were to block with Thrazod Berserker, I would roll a D10. Now the idea is to roll a higher number than your opponent, and if you win the roll, your creature remains there, and your opponent would nothing happens. you're safe. But if you choose, if they're attacking and you're worried about your role, you're worried that you're not going to beat them, you can sacrifice the support card that's underneath and it just blocks it. But you don't have the support card anymore, and that keeps your creature available for another round. Now, say you are out of cards to play. There's nothing there. Your opponent can just attack you straight head on. So you always have to have creatures blocking your opponent's creatures, or you're screwed. There's no easy way to put that. So the idea of the game is destroy all your oracles, and if the second you take a direct attack, the game is won. I have playtested a lot with many different people, and that this seems to be the best way to play. Also, if you happen to say you are on your last bit, this is your discard pile, this is your deck, you draw your last card. What happens? Well, milling out people, taking all their cards from their decks and putting them into their discards, so your discard would be face up like this, and then your deck will be face down. You run out of cards to play. What happens? Well, simple fix. Grab your deck, give it a shuffle, and you're ready to go again. You cannot mill somebody out in this game. I've lost too many games to players, mainly in Magic, when they just mill out my cards and I have nothing left. That is also the reason I made everything free to play, because also in Magic, you can kind of get mana screwed, which is you run out of resource cards in order to play your cards. So that's why I made everything free. This game is all based on strategy and chance. So you could have the best strategy in the world, but you can still lose by chance. If your strategy is good, then chance might not be, so difficult. You may lose a lot of the rolls, but your strategy is maybe to lose your creatures or whatever. But this is how you play the game. I do apologize if this wasn't very straightforward. I'll be making a lot more videos in the coming week. I'm going to try my best to make these videos that I've been promising people. And I'm hoping to find my memory card for my camera. That way I can actually make a decent video. But if there's anything else you guys want to see of my game, please don't hesitate to let me know in the comments below. I lack a lot of explanation, and I'm not very good at explaining things. I say this a lot in most of my videos, that I'm not good at explaining things, and it's very true. I'm not. So what I'm hoping to do is get a series of videos out trying to explain this game a little better to people who don't know how to play. So that was how to start a game in Exultia trading card game. Please subscribe if you haven't already. If not, that's also cool. If you just want to watch, that is fine. All this stuff is available on the Game Crafter. You can find my store from the Game Crafter up in the banner on my main, main homepage of my channel. So go ahead and check that out. Also, the group, Facebook group is on there. So please don't hesitate to do that. Yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to say. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Deuces.